Are you looking for the best nut milk makers? In this video we will look at some of the 3 best nut milk makers on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. Growup Plant-Based Milk Maker. The Growup is a modern nut milk maker that looks sleek on your countertop and makes good nut milk. If you like the design and want to save a little money compared to the Nama M1, then this may be the best choice. Comparably, there are some design flaws, but the Growup is still a solid option. The removable cap on the top snaps nicely into place and feels secure. It also acts as a measuring cup, 1 cup, so you can just scoop your nuts directly. You then put 3 to 4 cups of water directly inside, depending on how thick you want your milk to be. You have to make sure the blade is pushed on tight. One cycle I tested completely failed to grind the nuts. Just water came out. I realized I didn't push the blade down enough, so I tried again and it worked fine. The Growup has a small touchscreen interface to guide you through making your milk. You pick which type of milk you want to make, there are 9 options, and then it directs you to insert the nuts in milk. Cashew milk took me 6 minutes and 10 seconds to make. The machine makes a loud blending noise. It freaked my cats out, for about a minute before anything starts pouring out. For the remaining 5 minutes it then switches between pouring out and blending. The product doesn't come with a container for the milk, so I put a bowl underneath to catch the milk. I then poured it into my own glass carafe to store in the fridge. The carafe was too tall to have the milk go directly into it. When the milk pours out of the machine's spout, there's a bit of a splash zone, so I needed to wipe down the machine afterward. The milk that came out for each nut milk I made was pretty smooth, although there was definitely a little pulp in each. The cleaning cycle on this is helpful. Once the milk cycle is complete, you can go right into cleaning it by removing the filter and pouring in water. It then takes 4.5 minutes for it to wash and swoosh around and pour out all the gunky pulp. It can get a little annoying because you have to remove the dirty filter and reattach the blade to do this. I'd rather not have to handle the blade so much, to avoid cutting myself on it. And you also still have to then wash the filter by hand. You also need to wipe down some final remnants in the machine with a cloth after the cleaning cycle. Sometimes it doesn't dispense enough gunk and I had to run the clean cycle twice. It's not a perfect cleaning system, but it's definitely a big help. Number 2. ChefWave Milkmade. If you want to make larger quantities of plant milk or experiment with different milk sources, try the ChefWave Milkmade. It automates the process of milk making but allows plenty of flexibility in the source and quantity, and has an auto-clean feature that saves a lot of time. It looks like a coffee machine, with a loader at the top and a glass carafe at the front. There's even a water reservoir at the back, like a Keurig or other capsule coffee maker, though you have to refill it every time you use it. You take off the water reservoir and fill it to the 10 or 20 ounce levels, depending on how much milk you want. You then put the milk source in the mixing chamber, a glass-lidded compartment on the top of the machine. You then select the cycle from the control panel, and it brews you up a batch in the handy milk jug on the front of the machine. That process took about 18 minutes for oat milk and 45 minutes for soy milk. Once complete, the Milkmade beeps contentedly and runs a cleaning cycle that purges the system and dumps the cleaning water into an internal hopper. Once the cleaning cycle is complete, empty the hopper, and the Milkmade is ready to run again. It's simple and effective, but the downside is that you must refill the water reservoir and empty the internal water hopper every time you use it. Even though the reservoir holds over 40 fluid ounces, most of that is used in cleaning. The Milkmade did an excellent job blending the milk but didn't filter it, meaning the milk can have a slightly gritty texture from bits of the source material. This was present in the oat, soy milk, and horchata that I made, all of which benefited from a final pass through a fine mesh filter, not included. The control panel provides 6 presets: almond, soy, oat, cashew, macadamia, and coconut, but you must select your desired preset by pressing the program button repeatedly until the one you want is selected. The control panel looks like you could just touch the name to select, but only 2 of the buttons are touch sensitive. You can delay the start of the milk making process so you will have a fresh batch of milk when you wake up, but you only set a delay, there is no true timer. There is also no way to customize the presets, so you can't raise or lower the mix temperature or tweak the grinding time, things that most plant milk connoisseurs like to do with experience. Richard Bagley. Number 3. Tribest Soyabella. Looking like a slightly overgrown electric kettle, the Tribest Soyabella is a simple plant milk maker that can do other things, such as make soups, infusions, and tofu. It is rather too simple, though. The only option is to make raw or heated milk, chosen by a pair of buttons on the top of the device. This top lifts off to reveal the device's workings, a blender arm and a filter cup. To make a batch of milk, you put up to 4 cups of water in the vessel and a cup of your plant material into the filter cup, which twists to lock onto the top. The blender then grinds up the material and mixes it with the water, while the filter cup keeps the plant pulp contained. The process takes about a minute for raw milk and between 15 and 25 minutes for hot milk, depending on how much water you add. The Soyabella can handle between 3 and about 5 cups of water. When done, pour the milk out, remove the filter cup, and discard the pulp. This works well. While some gritty bits did get through, the filter cup kept the chunkier bits contained. I found the results from the suggested recipes relatively weak and watery. The instructions suggest that you run the cycle 2 or 3 times to get a better result, which was a good idea. It would be better if there were a way to set a longer blend time. There is also no provision here for automatically soaking the plant source, so you must do that manually. The short manual shows how to use it to make soup, sauces, and includes a good selection of recipes for various dishes. A grinding cup is also included, which fits over the blender arm to grind dry ingredients. The Tribest Soyabella tries to be a jack of all trades but doesn't master any of them. It makes decent milk, but only if you run it twice or thrice. That makes it feel a bit pointless, since it requires a lot of extra work every time you use it. Richard Bagley.